guys, I'll try and keep my finger out of the lens this time. See, with the capping strip's got to be trimmed off at the end and a little touch of paint put on. Same with this middle one. The back one hasn't been done yet, I've only just got the dead eyes in the position. But let me show you, it's nearly 40 degrees in this shed, it's just too hot to work. So I'm going to call it a day there. If you like what I'm doing, feel free to like, share and subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see a bell icon will come up. That's the notifications. If you click on that, you'll be notified every time there's a new video available on my channel, no matter what it's for. Now you can see I'm going to have to do some touching up the paint underneath. Some of the black needs to be touched up. It's amazing how it just drops off that brass. And so far I've had to put 3 little rings back, so I had to solder 3 rings back on, so it's not too bad from all of those. And the toughest bit was back here, where the wood decided it wasn't thick enough to hold the nails, so decided to split, so I had to do a little repair job there. Hence the whitish pigmentation to the paint. That will be touched up with red. Okay, I shall see you on the next one when we'll do the port side and we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, see you later. Okay guys, a little just a progress report. You can see I've got all the dead eye rails done on the port side. I've also done the cannon boxes at the back end here. Tiny little cannonballs. I'll just use them all up. This wasn't worth filming. It's only taking a piece of wood and filing a groove in it deep enough to hold the cannonballs and then putting 2 ends on it. That's all it is. And then over here on my bench, I've now got 30 little buckets, 1 for each cannon, it seems. Anyway, they're all painted up. They'll get the handles put on tomorrow, and I'll try and put some black rings on them, but I'm going to varnish them into wood shape first. Okay, that's my progress report for today. Right guys, there's not going to be much to show in this week's video really. You've seen what I did the other day, and now I'm painting buckets. You heard the old story about watching paint dry. Well, you're watching me paint. But I'm afraid, these jobs have to be done. But the fun part of this is, okay, I'm going to varnish them now, and then I'm going to try and put a black line around the middle and the bottom, and straight away one falls over. There we go. So, what do you think? Is there anything I can do to make it more interesting? Apart from every bucket falling over, there isn't much I can do. There we are. Oh, I see, some of them are stuck to the paper from yesterday. Put some more on it. Give it a second. Amazing how you can make it look like wood. Of course the handles have to be put on these yet, but I'd prefer to do that when the buckets are painted. Sounds like a post lady just pulled up. The next job after these buckets is the flag cabins, which go at the back of the ship. Now, did a little bit of research and I found that the flags of the early 19th century are the same ones as we still use today. So, the kit instructions say to take material, cut it into 8x3 rectangles and then just paint them one colour, but I'm trying to work out a better way of doing it where the flags look more authentic. So if anybody's got any ideas how to do that, I'd be most interested. I was going to substitute the pieces of cloth for printed flags, but I'll show you in a minute what I've printed off, and I think they're too big. They need to be smaller. That's alright, I can do that on the printer, make them smaller. That's not a big problem. And then once I've got the flag cabins done, I shall be stopping for 6 weeks or so. So I may fill in with videos of other things like stuff I've done before. And when I say I'm stopping for 6 weeks, it's because it's a convenient place to stop, and my new workshop is going to be built at the end of September, so I think it'll take me about, well, after it's built, it'll take me at least a week to get the stuff in the way I want it, sorted out the way I want it. So could be about 8 weeks before we get back to building again. The reason I'm stopping then is because the next job is to build the masts. I don't want to start masts and then have to stop halfway through. I'm hoping you can see what's going on here. 30 buckets is it's almost as bad as doing cannons. Not quite. Now I'm not under the magnifier at the moment. Being bet when I come to put the black lines on, I will be under the magnifier, and I'll be using my very fine paintbrush for that. This is going to be fun because you can see some of them where I've got too much paint on. It's pulling around the base, so they'll be stuck to the plastic, but it's plastic, it just pulls apart. Now, another of these buckets were used for holding water, I doubt it, loads of water. I think these are probably the powder buckets. In other words, they held the gunpowder, which is then used to charge the cannons. There's one for each cannon, same as there was on the lower deck. If you can remember back that far. Long time since we did the lower deck. And what makes me laugh is it's almost completely hidden by the rest of the ship, but you know it's there. There we go, guys. 30 buckets oaked. Now that's got to set before I do anything else. It's going to take at least half an hour. I want it dry. I don't want no splurges of varnish coming off on my hand. So what I'll do is I'll just, where I see some of them have got a pool already, I shall move them. I think they'll move outside the pool with that. I thought, it's not too bad. Right, we'll leave them to set and we'll come back to them in half an hour or so. See in a few seconds. Right then, I have no idea if I'll be able to paint these black rings around the buckets, but I'll give it a try. Pretty sure I've bought some new brushes, but finding them is, oh, here they are. Right. These are itchy titchy brushes, so we'll give it a try, won't we? All the buckets are stuck to the plastic as I expected to would. So let's free them up. It doesn't matter if they fall over at this stage. I'm back to single camera at the moment, so you just have to bear with me. Hope I don't block out everything. I'm only going to try one or two and see how it gets on. So, I've got some nice fresh black paint ready, he says. Shouldn't need very much of it. Give it a little bit. Still quite liquidy, which is good. So, get a magnifier down where I can use it. Can you still see what I'm doing? Hopefully you can. Oh, you're getting a lot of bloom there. That didn't help much. I wonder why that happens. See that? Lift that light. Oh, it's this light that's causing it. Yeah, it's this light that's causing it. So let me bring. That one does it as well. Guys, I'm sorry about this. But see how we can do for now. Okay. Get in a position where I can see what I'm doing. What I might have to do is actually, looking at this, I think what I'm going to do is paint them black and then go back over with the brown and the oak varnish, because although I've got them black, but it's not very good, is it? So try it again. I can tell you this is the smallest brush in my collection. And you only have to slip the lights. You can always go back over it with a it's not too bad. Okay, I'll carry on with these and I'll see you when I've got them all done. If they look too bad, I'll do them all again. Guys, you can see that I've painted the black lines on all of the pots. So I'll have to touch them up with the tan colour in a little while. But what to show you, the next stage is to build the little flag rooms which go at the back of the ship. Now we've established that the flags used in 1805 are the same as were developed in the late 18th century and have been used ever since. And this is them. So instead of cutting them out of material, I'm going to cut them out of this paper and use those instead. And let's hope that works. Okay, I'll be back in a few seconds. Right guys, what I've decided is these buckets are going to be taking some time. I would carry on and do these flag rooms. So take these buckets and just slide them to the back of the bench for now. I'm just going to do these. I'll do them as I'm waiting for glue to dry. It's not something that has to be done straight away. As long as they go on the deck at some time. So, these flag rooms, one right, one left, or one left, one right. So I'll do the left one first. I'll leave the flag chart, hold it on for now. What I like is all these are numbered, all got their own numbers on, so makes it easy. I don't have to mark them. I realise that my hand is between the camera and what I'm cutting, but I'm sure you can see enough to know what I'm doing. I'll try and get back to the two camera action as soon as I can. The only trouble with two camera action is the editing takes 3 times longer. I don't mind that when I've got something to show you, but when there's not an awful lot to show you, it's kind of, oh, I know I would get cheesed off watching it, so I tend not to put it in for people. You can see that these are going to take some rubbing down. That's right. So I've been looking at one of the bits that comes up next on this build is the masts, and you start off with the foremast, the bottom end of which, or sorry, the top end of which is shaped into 8 millimetre, not even centimetre, but 8 millimetre square from 12 millimetre round. So I've been looking at different ways to do this because, well, I'm not comfortable slicing a piece of a dowel. I'm also not comfortable using my sander to do it because it'll, well, no, my luck, I'll take too much off and then it will be fun. I've already had to go and buy a piece of dowel to replace the one I accidentally used on the bowsprit. Instead of using the 30 centimetre piece which is in the kit, I used one of the 50 centimetre pieces by cutting 20 centimetres off it. So I had to go and buy a new piece of dowel. It's not a problem. You can only get it in 1 metre length, so we've got plenty of dowel to practice with making it square. So that is one of the things I will be doing. But like I said, that's not going to be until probably October, because it's July now. I'm going to be having a holiday at some point with my wife. We don't know where we're going yet, but I know we're going to Britain in September. We've planned that. And at the end of September is when this new workshop and associated garden furniture will be assembled. So between now and then I shall be clearing this shed out. What I intend to do is just make a couple of videos about things I've done before, and we'll see how that comes out. Now, I don't know if these are going to be curved, are they? What do you think, guys? It's got a little curve to it, isn't it? Seems a bit strange. But I shall do like I usually do, and she's my bigger flat file, I think. Here it is. These slots, these basic kind of slots, I tend to just take a little bit off the edges, keeping all the numbers to the inside. There we go. See how easy it goes together now. Squeeze it together. That's one. Well, that doesn't sound like an airliner, that sounds like a military jet of some kind. We don't get very many over here, but that certainly sounded military-ish. Oh yeah, there we go, it fits in nicely. Isn't it funny how some of them just fit straight in and others want to be a nuisance? That's alright, we'll get it all put together. Now you see with this one, when it goes in, it's going to have a little tongue sticking underneath. So we'll put this one on first, like that. There's the tongue. It's going to go. I think it's quite neat the way it's put together. A little bit of thought went into construction of the kit, especially number 6 is going to be down here. Again, bring the edges together. You'll see what I'm going to do with this in a minute. This is number 4. Now try and work that out because, oh yeah, put it that way around. My geography was getting mixed up there. Not my geography, my geometry. And it all falls apart again. It didn't break, just made funny noises. see it all slots together quite nicely. Now to keep it together, I shall use aliphatic resin glue. Just like that. That corner wants to fall apart for some reason. There we are, guys. Keep that like that. Put some aliphatic glue down each of the joints. We'll be doing alright. All I've got to do is find that aliphatic. I think it's over here. And I think what I'll do is I'll put some glue onto a board. And I shall take my little brush rod. Now if you don't know about aliphatic glue, it will disappear. What you have left showing on the outside just, I don't know, doesn't dissolve, it just goes. So I've never had any problem with aliphatic. Biggest problem you got here is trying to get it on all the joints. Very neat. And that is one little house, one little cabin like cabin. Okay, I shall do the other one and I'll come back to you. Right guys, I'm going to try and repaint the, what's this, buff colour on these buckets. I'll try and paint it between the black lines. I'm trying anything to make this work, but I need to look through a magnifier. So let me find a pair of tweezers which will work. Take the paint off them all first. As a result, I'll go over them with buff and I'll have to go over them again with the varnish. So I'm sorry, that's all your video is going to be this week, is like buckets, a little bit of dead-eye rails, and of course the construction of these two flag cabins. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. I think I'm close enough. Let me just close my door because the dog's going to start barking. People have just started around to do some work. I've had the door open because it's currently 34 degrees in this shed, which is a little bit warm now. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. But it's just touching up, making it look tidy again. Yeah, I think if that's touched up with a bit of varnish, that'll be pretty good, that one. I've got to just get it back up my tweezers. There we go. They don't all have to be done, just the ones where I've been a bit over enthusiastic with the black paint. Let's face it, they're so small on the deck, you can hardly see them. But it's your knowledge that you painted them to the best of your ability, and I didn't. I'm correcting them there. Sometimes you just need a little touch up. Sometimes you need more than others. I'm quite pleased with its panning out, and it'll be nice when it gets a little bit of oak varnish on top just to finish it off. Guys, if you like what I'm doing, my usual statement, feel free to like, share, subscribe if you haven't already done so. When you subscribe, you will see a bell icon will come up. It will, if you click on that, that's a notification icon. And basically, when you click on that, you'll be notified whenever any new videos are posted on my channel. Any new videos, no matter what it is, whether it's the ship or some of the other stuff I'm going to be doing very shortly. Because although I'm having a break from painting the model, I'm going to probably do one on something stuff I've done earlier, and let you see what my modelling life has been about, I hope. I keep saying I'm going to do that video. I will get around to doing it now. I'm having a break from the ship for a bit. So, as I say, you'll be notified of any new videos coming up on the channel. It's not too bad. And in most cases, my new videos are up on a Monday and a Thursday evening. That's what I aim for anyway. It all depends on how I can get the editing done. I guess my hand is probably in front of the camera right there. I won't know until I see the edit. If it is, I apologise for that. I'm trying to do it in front of the camera. And my problem at the moment is I've got some allopathic glue on my fingers, which is hampering me a little bit. It's not too bad. Trying to find the bin switches, the buckets, which are the ropiest to do. All in all, not too bad. And like I said earlier, I'm guessing these are the powder buckets. Since there's one for each cannon, I guess that's how the powder was carried to the cannons. If anybody knows it better, let me know. Quite keen to listen to comments, especially if anybody knows the history of the bits and pieces. See, I did a bit of searching to find about the flags. I was quite intrigued to find that the flags used in the 18th and 19th centuries, where they were developed, and they're still in use today. Each flag, although it represents a letter of the alphabet, also has a meaning. I guess it's flown from a different position. You have things like the B flag, which is a red flag. Quite a strange shape, a trapezoid, I suppose you would call it. I now know that that's the loading dangerous cargo flag, and so I guess that's when they're loading gunpowder and stuff like that. Well, actually, nowadays it's when they're taking on fuel. Yeah, fuel is considered a dangerous cargo. Not surprised when you think how flammable it is. Okay. Some of these aren't too bad actually, when you look at them closely. I guess the ones that are the worst is when my brush slipped, which with the shaky hands I've got is not a big surprise. I always think the hardest thing with these little buckets isn't so much the painting of them, it's putting the handles on them, which comes later. Well, in the instructions they show you them putting the handles on earlier, but these ones that I'm putting to one side already, they aren't too bad, unless I've done them okay. It's on the occasional one where my brush slipped, and that's the ones I'm trying to repair now. So when I get these painted here, I'm now going to leave them to sit overnight so they get a chance to set before I put the varnish back on them. And I can assure you, by the time they're put on the deck, you're not going to know which ones had 2 coats of paint and 3 coats of paint. Because there's an awful lot of stuff to go on still on the deck, which it won't hide them, but it will tend to mask them a little bit. And the great thing about being the model builder is you know they're there, and that's the biggest thing. Say I'm not building for exhibition purposes, I'm only building for my own enjoyment. I'm way past building for exhibition, I can assure you. I did that with aircraft in the past. there we are. 30 buckets trimmed up, neatened up, and that, guys, is me for this video. So I will see you on the next one.